All right, in this video, I want to talk about some features that is in UISP. Ones I've been kind of taunting with a little bit, playing around with to see if I can get them to work. Because I've saw them in there a few months ago, and I could not get them to work. And the features that I'm talking about, which is quite nice. Um, One is you can set it up where your clients can log into the client zone, which is their account. And if they want to change their speed package, you can have it where they can click a little button and change their package. And it will send you, the WISP owner, a notification, and you have the option of accepting it or denying it. Which I'm glad that they just cannot change it without your authorization, because not all clients possibly on every WISP be able to use or get all the speed packages. They may be in a very rural, long distance or whatever area, and their equipment or the line of sight is not equivalent enough to get every package tier that you may have to offer. So that gives you the option of contacting them, say, well, we need to come out and be sure you are able to get that speed before we authorize for it to be changed over to that package. Because you don't want them to get a package that they're not able to get. Even though you offer it, that don't mean it's available for everybody. Now, every package that I have, the short distance that I have my clients, pretty much everybody is available to get, any package that I have, even the business package. But I would have to change the equipment. So in that scenario, it comes in play and be nice that I would have to contact them and say, well, you can get that package, but we're going to have to change your equipment to make it actually work. And also, I saw in there that now, instead of paying like month to month, and it will say it bills them for January and they pay that bill. It bills them for February, but they don't pay that bill. It turns them off, in my case, roughly around the 15th. They don't pay that bill, it stops. It will not continue sending them invoices anymore. I turned it on so it will not continue to send invoices. It just sits there. So they can come back in, say, June or July, pay that bill, it turns it back on. Also, they have prepay option now. I went in there and tried to set it up, and I'm got one client that is willing to let me use them as a tester for that feature, because they pretty much they pay they in the same RV park that I'm in, and they pretty much pay cash. And they said, well, we're going to be here for only a week. Can you turn it on for that? And what is it? And they'll have that cash exact change and bring it to me. I meet them out there. But this gives them an option to do the exact same thing. Now, I had to figure out exactly what the download and upload would be for that particular individual prepay package. So I gave them a package that's pretty much in the middle of what I've already gotten month to month packages, and increase the upload a little bit more than what them packages in that range has. So they got a little bit of the download of the mid grade of residential, but they got the upload as a business, a little bit more than what residential. So they look a little bit of both worlds, the business and residential. Now, It does cost more if they paid for a whole month than it would be if they just paid for a monthly package. But the purpose of having it day to day is because they're not going to be there for a whole month, but it gives them that option. And even people that are there 24/7, that's their permanent residence, they can still use it. They say, well, I want internet this week or the weekend. They can be set on prepaid and be able to do that. And the great feature about that as well is they don't have to contact me anymore. Say, hey, we're going to be there Easter week. Can you turn us on, Saturday before until the Saturday after? I have to go in there and choose them dates and set it up and all. No, they log into their own account now and say, add some time. I think it's prepaid. I forgot exactly how it's worded. Let's see. The little option that comes up in the client zone where the clients log into their own account, up in the right hand corner where their little icon of themselves where you can where they log out, it says upgrade plan. So when they click on that, they see all the plans that's available for residential or business, depends on which group they want. I got a group of residential and I got a group of business, and I set each client to business or residential. Most of them is going to be residential, and it will show them the package at the top left hand corner. It says current plan, and it shows the plan that they're on, and then it has all the other packages that they can actually choose from. They can choose and say confirm upgrade, and it will send me a notification to accept or decline their request. So that is going to be a game changer when I get all that up and running. We're going to find out if it will work or not, because I've already set up one client and told it to turn on the days. I called them on the phone. They told me the days they're going to be there. So I chose them days, and it sent them a 6-digit number on their phone to authorize us to use the credit card that they used before. Don't give us the credit card information. It says we sent a text with a confirmation number to the number on record, which is their number, and they can tell me the number, and I'll put that in, and it will activate it for them days. That's before I found out that they can actually log into their own account and be able to do the exact same thing. But that's going to be a great feature if I got it set right. There's a lot of little tweaks you got to do to it to get it to work properly. So if it works when it turns on, I think it's the 6th through the 16th. If it turns on and it works for them, and I give them access to their account, which if I hadn't already, and see if they can log in from now on and just click, add time, and be able to choose the dates. And it does it like if you're going to go to a motel, it gives you 2 months, the month you're in and the month after, and you choose the day when you want to get there, and then you choose the day that you're going to leave, and it gives you the price. Pretty much the same layout. And you go ahead and pay for it, and it will turn on when that date actually comes. So if they show up on the 6th, they can go ahead and log in, pay, and it will turn on when they're there. Or they can do it before they leave and head that way. I don't know if they get there on the 6th and say 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and will it actually give them the option of that particular day that they're actually there, or do they have to start the next day? I don't know. I won't know unless they actually try it. So that's going to be a nice feature if I got everything just right. So we will see if them two features, prepaid and the change of fee packages, because I've had quite a few saying, "Hey, I want to move up to the next package, or go down a package, go up two packages because we got more TVs, or we're not going to be there the next 2 months. Can we drop down, a couple packages, go to the smallest package, or whatever?" It makes it easier on them so they can tailor it to what they need, and they can leave me alone. Honestly, they can just leave me alone and log in and do everything themselves that I've actually been doing, because they say, "Well, I want to move up package. I have to log in, get into their account, delete the old service pack, and put in the new one." They said, "Well, I've already paid for this month. Can you take the rest of the days, figure out how much that was worth, and then give me credit?" And all that is taken care of now, all by itself. It's a lot of headache going there. And, if I get a lot of people that's doing that, I'll be sitting here trying to get that done, and it don't work every time. Sometimes it has a hiccup, but now they pick another package, start date, whatever, and boom, it works. Now, if they're in the middle of the month and they say, "Well, I want to move up to the next package," now, will it figure out what they already paid for that month, or will it start the next month since that month is already paid for? Does it give them an option when to start it, or does it automatically just change the next month? I don't know. I'm not on that side. I'm not on the client side. But more I let people know that that's an option, because not everybody has access to their account, because we set up their account while I'm there, and they put a card on the account. I gave them the laptop. They put in all their credential information from the credit card. Then I clicked OK, and it was done. I never saw any of their information. And the only thing I get to see in their account now is the last 4 digit and expiration date. But then people say, "Well, I don't need to log in." Some of them will say that. Someone says, "I don't need to log in. I just put a card on it and let it run, and it's done." They're going to let it just run every month, regardless if they're there or not. It's just like their light bill or their lot rent. They're not there, say 2 or 3 months during the winter, but they still got to pay the lot rent. But now they have an option to not have to pay. Now, of course, that may or may not put a big impact of the revenue that your company will actually have coming in, because if a lot of people say, "Oh, that's a great feature, I'm just not going to pay for 3 months," and in 3 months your revenue is going to go, but you still got your backhauls and all to pay. So you have to consider what packages, speed packages, is going to be available for them. So if they want to put a smaller package for 2 or 3 months, then that's fine. But how low of a package do you want them have access to? You have that option to put in the group, the residential group. You could say, "Well, anybody that is from this tier of speed and up has an option to get something lower." But if you're only on the tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3, you really can't get much lower. Just, you can really tailor it to exactly what you want. Anybody above certain package, you can go into their account and turn it on, so they will have that option in the client zone, or you can not have them have that option. You can go in there and say, "Okay, everybody that has package 1 and package 2, you're not going to have an option to change package." But then again, They can just not pay their invoice, and it's going to sit there dormant for however long until they do pay it. Then it turns it back on. So you got to weigh in both sides of the game, they say. Maybe I'll just put it across the board that everybody has an option to pick whatever package they want. Say, well, during the wintertime, we don't go down there. We're not going to have that many people. Maybe I'll go to a smaller package for the wintertime. And then when the summer times, I can change it back up. Because pretty much everybody comes down there wintertime at some point. Maybe a weekend or two. They'll come down there because the weather kind of gets nice. The weather around here, it can be in the 40s all Monday through Friday, and Saturday, Sunday it can be 60s or 70s. And some of them are very adamant about that. They watch that weather during the wintertime and say, hey, next weekend looks like nice. Let's go down there. Maybe we can go on the pier and fish or whatever. So it will give them more options to tailor it to their needs and wants. Of course, it may, like I said, may or may not make an impact of the monthly revenue that comes in. Some of them, majority of them, says, auto pay. I would say probably over 85% are on auto pay, and they just went out of sight, out of mind. They just going to pick a package and they're going to pay it every month, and it don't matter. They said, well, we hate, because I said, you sure now you can pay it and turn it off or whatever. I can, at that time I was setting up, say, if you want it 3 months, I can set it for 3 months, manually going in. They said, no, just want it on because you never know when the weather can get nice down there, and we just want to go down there. And that's one less thing we got to worry about. It's just going to work. Just like the power. It's just going to work because we just pay it every month. Internet, we just pay it every month. When we get there, it's done. Less we have to worry about. 85% to 90%, pretty much that's their set of mind. So it's going to be for them few to none of people that really don't use it that much or not there that much. They just want to pay for the days that they're actually there. So I'm going to let this client be the guinea pig, per se, and see if this thing is set up properly. I think I got it. You know me, I'm pretty much tech savvy about kind of stuff like this, of getting things to work. But we're going to find out if this actually is going to be beneficial or not. Because I've had maybe 3 people over the almost a little bit over 2 years. Because I started in 2020 in January is the first invoice I actually had the software to send out. So it's been 2 years and almost 4 months. And I had a few people say, well, do you have a way to pay day to day? Now, this one customer, that's testing, it pretty much was that way, because when I set up, he paid me cash. He said, can I pay just for, a week? I'm like, yeah, I can set it up. It'll run for a week and give you a price. Okay. And that's pretty much what they've been doing. So this prepaid option fits right perfect for them, because that's exactly what they've been doing from day one since they've been there. Now, they don't have to get up with me. They just hopefully, if things right, they'd be able to log in, choose the dates they want from this day to this day. They pay, and it will give them a bill. They put in their information, whatever, and say pay. And it will turn on, hopefully. We'll find out on the 6th, I do believe, is when that one was set, if it will turn on or not. If it does, and then it will turn off on the day at midnight of the day that they chose to leave. And if they are able to log in, add more time for their next trip down, we got it. And then I know I got everything tweaked out where it's supposed to be. then I can tell others, like, here's the speed packages we have. I have them on a sheet, or you can prepay. Of course, it will cost more per day than the other packages cost. But since you are having that ability to turn it on and off, more frequently than everybody else, of course, you're going to pay for that luxury. And I had to come up with how much per day. I had to look at the other packages and divide it by 30 and see how much it is per day and blah, 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 all the way up to the highest package to the lowest, just see how much it is per day. And then I said, okay, this is the highest, this is the middle one. And I picked the price and I went with it. I had to look at the price and the speed that was in that range. So I gave a little bit of residential and a little bit of commercial speed upload. So the speed that they had when I was doing it manually is slower than what the speed they got now. They got 10 megabits per second download faster than they did with the other. They had a monthly package, and I was just turning it on for a certain amount of days. But now they got a little bit more speed, and they can do it all on their own. All fingers crossed. And I'll let you know if that actually works. But I just want to make this video saying the new things in the UISP features, that the clients can change their own package if you agree to it when you are sent that notification through the software and an email. If they're available, if that speed is available to their location with the equipment they have, you can just say accept, and it will go ahead and configure everything. As far as I know, I haven't had anybody to do it, but that's what it says it would do. So we will see as soon as I start telling people, because I have a few people like June and July, they say, hey man, I want fast package, bump me up. And because the kids, grandkids, and all that's going to be here for July and whatnot. They like that feature, and it don't cost them anything. I didn't charge them anything to change it over, and this doesn't either. So we'll see how this actually plays out. Hopefully as smooth as all the rest of it has. And it looks like I'm going to be going next week, Monday, Tuesday, whenever my wet boxes come in, because I am going to pretty much start now installing internet to each location without attaching anything to the RV. The reason why I want to do that is I put a 10-foot pole, put the CPE on top, put a Loco M2 or M5, whichever one I can get a hold of. M2s are out of stock right now. Put it lower on the pole. Put it pretty much at window height. Since it's going to have a hose clamp or something that I can loosen up and move up and down, or I can put it like 6 feet. 6 feet off the ground would be pretty much a good height. Don't matter what RV is there. And use the M2s as the access point for them to tie into wirelessly. As you saw in one of my previous videos where I had the M2 on a little pole that sticks up about 1.5 feet, and the M2 was maybe a foot off the ground, and it was pointing at the RV, and I got it in the front of the RV with my laptop and got the speeds that they were paying for. So the signal was going through all the RV all the way to the front. It was a long, I would say it had to be a 35, 40 foot RV. And I was still surfing the full speed all the way front of the RV. And the AP M2 was basically on the ground behind the RV. So that told me that that will work. Because it had to go through all the walls, whatever walls are in that RV, and got the outside wall, inside walls, and back through the outside wall on the front, and I still got the full speed, so that will work. So The reason why I really want to do that, of course, it's going to cost me possibly a little bit more because the M2s cost roughly, let's see, what was it? About $25, $30 more than what a regular router is that I've been using. The TP links, they are about $25, $30. About $20 more, $50, I can get the M2s. The advantages of that is if somebody gets that and they say, well, we're going to move. They've been there for 3 months, say, or a year, whatever time frame. We're going to pull out. We don't need the internet no more. Okay, I could sit right here and deactivate their account. Somebody else moves in a week later. They call me. I can set that back up, put their information. They can text me their information that I need. I can put it in the account. I said, what password do you want? I can log into the M2 and put that password in it remotely. And I don't even have to go there. And I said, while I got them on the phone, I can call them and say, well, can you log in and confirm that everything's working? And I can see a list of devices that's actually connected. Like a Roku, it will say Roku, and then it will give an IP address. That's all it will say. If it's a phone, sometimes it will say Apple or Galaxy or whatever, whatever device, if it actually hands out the name. It shows the strength, the dB and all that, and the speed that's actually it's using. But I can get them to log in with their cell phone and go to Wi-Fi Man and be able to do a speed test. Now, that's another thing that I saw on there that they were working on, that you can get them to use the Wi-Fi Man app and do a speed test on their Wi-Fi, and it will show up in the UISP software. What information does it show? I don't know, because I haven't had anybody do it. I do have it on. So I just may go to my RV and log into somebody's Wi-Fi that my laptop is still connected to when I set it up. And, well, no, I can't do that because it says it's only going through the app right now, not the web-based. So I have to tie my cell phone into their Wi-Fi. Some of them is already connected because I used my cell phone to do a speed test at the time, and it still has that information in it. So I can do a speed test like if I was the client and just see if it will show up. Now, it says it has to go through a device that is set up as a router, which all my CPEs, I set them up as routers. Now, it's certain firmware versions that it has to be on to do as well. I think it's like 8.75 or 685, something like that. It's up there in a high number. It also lists on that page in UISP which devices and what firmware it has to be on. So I'm going to see if I can find one that meets that requirements, and see if I can actually get it to populate any information in UISP so I can actually see what actually is going to show up, and actually make another video and tell you what actually shows up in that. So they add a lot of features that is really giving me a lot of data for each client. And it's making it run even more, as you heard me say a lot in my videos. Pretty much I install and it runs itself. Well, it runs itself even more now. It's less that I have to do physically. Things that I've been doing that clients want, they can do it themselves, which is nice. I mean, I would love to be able to, like, say, Starlink that I have here. One of many of internet connections I have. But I would love to be able to log into my account and say, well, I'm going to go on vacation next month and I need a smaller package. Click, done. Or, oh man, I want to broadcast, and stream and everything else. Want a bigger package. Boom, done. It'd be nice. I've never had that feature myself for any ISP. Nobody ever offered that at all without have to call and say, well, I want the next speed package. I want 600 megabits per second, or I want 1 gig. I have to call them up. Never been able to just log into my account and choose and say, click. Be nice. Hopefully that I got it all set up right. And soon as I get that confirmation that it is set up right of the prepaid and the package changing by logging into their accounts, all that's working, get somebody to test it, I'll make a video and let you know that it's working and possibly try to find some screenshots of what it looks like on the business side without showing names. I have to blur a lot of it out, but I'll make that video. And also, I still got to make a video of how to take 2 radios and make a point-to-point video, point-to-point video of connection. Somebody wanted to have that video made, and I still got to make it. So if you're watching and you're the one that asked for that, don't worry. I'm still going to make that video, how to get 2 radios and set them up as point-to-point. I'm going to see if I should be able to have it configured to the point where you can plug it in any location and it be able to send the internet. It will take any IP. If you got 192.168.1.1, or if you got 10.10.1.3, it will automatically get an IP from that router, don't matter what range it's in, and still be able to work. Should be able to set it up on DHCP, but the fallback IP, leave it as 192.168.1.20. So if you plug it in without internet, you'd be able to still log into it and change whatever. Because if you put on DHCP and you have it not connected to a router, it don't have an IP, so you have to use the fallback IP. And I've already set one up as an AP, and it will, like I said, it will show up in UISP, so you can remotely log into it then. But that's all I have for this video. Appreciate you watching, and be sure you hit that thumbs up. Hit that share button wherever you want to share it at, Facebook and Twitter. I can't because I don't have accounts on any of that anymore. Pretty much I got my podcast, my radio station, and YouTube. That's it. I've done away with all that other stuff. It pretty much all sat there for like 6-8 months, and I'm like, I never log into all this stuff like I used to when I was running the heat and air business. I just done away with it. I really don't use it. Done away with it. And if you hadn't already, hit that subscribe button down there. You don't have to turn the bell notification on and get notified every time I put a video on, but each time you log in, you see, notification there that I've got a new video up. And I'm going to try my best to start putting more videos up. I got my schedule starting on the 1st of my podcast, different ones. And if you look in the description of the video, you'll see a link to all of them. My live show on Sundays, try to have that, try to go back doing live. Seems like my internet connection is good enough now. It's stabilized, so I can actually go back live. That's going to be very fun and enjoyable, back to being live. So I can actually do my giveaway that I was trying to do in the past, the internet going, no, you're not. Not from your studio. That's when Starlink was moving the dish around because the satellites up there, they're not in the same location. So they had to get it connect to some other satellites at a different direction. It's not pointing north anymore. It's pointing more east. And that's where all the trees are. So sometimes it's crappy, but I've noticed like 2 or 3 days ago, it's moved. So, and it's moving towards back direction where it used to be when it started. So I'm thinking they're getting more satellites up there, and it's gradually going to go back to open skies, which we all know line of sight is our friend. But I did a test with a private video live for like 5 minutes, and then I stopped it, and then I went and watched it for that 5 minutes, and it never missed a lick. So we should be good. So hopefully next Sunday I'll be live. I got it actually posted on my main page. So go ahead and hit the reminder so you won't miss it. Now, if it goes well, next week I'm going to try to do the giveaway. So look for that then. I don't know if I'm going to do it that week because that is, I do believe, Easter. So I may wait until the week after. But I still go live regardless. But thanks for watching. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.